Hello everyone, we are taking charge of every facet of our lives, and this is Take Charge with Sophie. My name is Sophie. Over the past month, we've been doing a lot of episodes on entrepreneurship, investments, and planning, and personal development, and the likes. But today we'll be talking about expanding your business. We'll look at the benefits of expansion, what we should consider before expanding our businesses, what we should do after expanding our businesses, reasons why we should expand, and reasons why we should not consider expanding our business. Again, I'll be taking a lot of points from my book, Start Right, A Guide to Financial Investments in Ghana. You can find this book on Amazon for a very cool price, below $10. I think $9.99 on Amazon. And then you can get it by going to Book Nook. Book Nook is owned by Nana Redamwa and the team. You can order and get it from Book Nook. So if you go to page 167, it talks about growing your business, just the same as expanding your business. What should we do before expanding our business? I get a little bit worried. You see a lot of businesses that have very high potentials of growing, but they end up not growing at all because the owner does not see the need for it to grow. You and I have a lot of examples. The watches sellers that we've been buying from our primary school, you go back to your town and the same watches seller is there, the same woman, same location, same table size, nothing has changed. There are a lot of family and kenke businesses that are running are become so joints that are so big in certain locations, and after 5 or 7 or 8 years, the same location, the same table size, the same person serving, number of staff is small. You see a lot of people queuing for the food, but the number of people serving are very limited. All these things are not really helping us as a country. We need to scale up to provide employment to people, and you know that employment comes with a lot of benefits. It helps reduce crime, it helps people improve their standard of living and all that. So if you are doing a business that has potential to grow, then you may want to consider expanding the business. But what do you want? How do you want to go about it? First of all, before expansion, and we are talking about maybe an SME that wants to do things right. At least, first of all, get that business registered if it is not registered. And then make sure that it has all the licenses from the various local authorities. And rewrite a business plan, if you don't have one, on how you are going to go about your sales and your marketing and what strategies you are going to adopt. And then assess the viability of expansion. Let's assume that your business is doing well in a particular area. Before you decide to expand to another area, you may have to do some survey to be sure that we don't have other dominant market players in the places you are considering to go. And what kind of retaliatory taxes will they adopt when they see you coming there? Are you going to consider moving to an area where we don't perform such services but your services are needed? You have to do all that. You may have to consider the impact of favorable and unfavorable economic conditions towards your expansion project. Economic conditions are things that you cannot do away with once you are in a particular economy. Economic conditions may be favorable and then it may be unfavorable. So you may have to analyze how favorable the economy condition is to your business and how unfavorable. And if it's favorable, it's going to create a lot of opportunities. So you have to put measures in place to take advantage of the opportunities to the highest level, and also make sure that you have plans to milk everything as much as you can from that opportunity. And the unfavorable ones present risk. It presents some form of threats that if you don't address, you tend to risk that will actually crystallize. So you may have to have strategies on how you overcome those threats and risk and make sure that the risks do not crystallize. And you have to be conservative, especially with your assumptions regarding sales and cash flows. The fact that maybe your first shop is generating a very huge sale doesn't mean that if you expand to another market or a place, you are going to experience that same level of sales. So you have to make sure that your assumptions are very scientific. Don't be over ambitious with it. And before expanding your business, you may have to acquire some bigger premises and get the needed funding for the expansion. You cannot expand without funding. So before expansion, you have to get the needed funding and also make sure that you have a bigger premises for that. And then you need to employ additional staff if necessary, or develop new products if necessary. The interesting thing is that you don't have it all when it comes to what to do to take your business to the next level. But there are people who are trained to provide you advisory services that can help you with your expansion businesses. So you may want to find out where you can get help as far as your expansion is concerned. So you may want to have a business advisory service that will help you identify and overcome potential barriers that your growth or expansion may present. And you may also want to develop partnership with financial institutions. A lot of financial institutions, Fidelity Bank and other banks in Ghana have SME and SME units, and all these SME units also, and the hubs and all that provide some form of advisory services and to help businesses that actually do business with them to scale up and to take them to the next level. I think APSA does that as well. So you may want to have talk to your RO or your RM for them to be able to take you through their programs to help you with the scaling up. And then you should provide public and private information and contacts. A lot of these advisory firms will provide you with public and private information and contacts to help you manage your growth related issues. Because it is their business, they will be able to provide you so much information, contacts that will help you take your business to the next level. And then they also provide you with opportunities to develop new business and strategic alliances. So you realize that expanding your business is not a small thing that you can just get up and do because you think you want to do it. You need help. Seek professional help from financial advisory companies, business consultants and all that, who have, especially those who have a lot of experience dealing with your kind of business. You seek help from them or your financial institution. There are good reasons for expansion. If you expand your business, you have the potential to increase your market share and profitability. Very, very necessary. And then it also gives you some of competitive positioning. But must you expand at all costs? No. You should not expand as a result of overconfidence. Some people feel like, as for me, whatever I touch is blessed. So I want to go into just anything. No, in business, you don't do that. So you have to make sure that your reason for expanding is not as a result of overconfidence, or the fact that you have been successful in a particular business does not mean that you'll be successful in the rest. And we have a lot of examples here in Ghana. We have companies that are doing so well in a particular business. They've diversified into unrelated fields and they failed. Like Beige Capital, for instance. Beige was doing so well as a savings and loans, transitioned into a bank, and later it started venturing into real estate, doing so many things. And at the end of the day, now they have nothing to show off. They are actually down and all that. So you realize that the fact that Ideal Finance and some other, these are public information, they were doing so well, but they've diversified into many unrelated areas. And at the end of the day, they got themselves into trouble and had their fingers bent. So now that you know that's okay, it is good, there are so many benefits associated with expansion. There are good reasons for expansion, and there are also bad reasons why you should not expand. If you eventually expand your business, what should you do after expansion? Again, I'm picking these bullet points from my book, Start Right, a guide to financial investment in Ghana. So after expansion, you should motivate your managers with monetary incentives that are tied to their individual performances. At the end of the day, you are not the one going to do the business. Expansion means that you have a lot of people or a group of people that are doing the work for you. So you have to motivate them with some form of monetary incentive tied to performance. And then also you may want to benchmark on successful policies of market leaders in your industry. You don't know it, or you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are a lot of blueprints already available publicly and all that. You can fall on some of them and apply the ones that are relevant to your business in a smaller scale. And then once it starts working, you do it well. And objectively analyze your company and work on your weaknesses and leverage on your strengths. So doing your own, after expansion, you can do your own SWOT analysis, know your strengths or weaknesses, then the opportunities and threats it presents. So with your strengths, you leverage it to take advantage of opportunities. With your weaknesses, they are going to present you with threats. You have to find a way of mitigating those ones. And also, always be prepared for opportunities and send proposals out for contracts. Once you expand, you have to be aggressive. You have to have a strong business development in place to make sure that continuously businesses are coming in to generate the needed level of income that you need. And then you need to stick to what you do best, even during bad times, you know. You have to be known for something, so stick to what you do best, even during bad times, so that you can maintain your brand name. And then classify your expanding business into profit centers. Make sure that you have a solid business practice of your financial statement and all that. And then quickly get rid of unethical employees. Sometimes we see people steal from us that we love so much because we are emotionally attached to them. But the moment you get to see that someone is doing unethical stuff in your business, sack them. Because if you don't sack them, they will pollute if people see that people are getting away with some of these things, they are also going to train others to want to do that, which will not order well for your business. Be open to all stakeholders and have them informed of your problems so they can also understand and defend you. I mean, in business, there are lots of stakeholders, internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. You have to learn how to manage your relationship with all these stakeholders. There's this matrix called the Mendelow's stakeholder matrix. So you have to engage some of them, classify them based on the kind of power they have, the kind of interest they have. You have to keep some of them informed. You have to keep some of them satisfied and some of them to, I mean, there are different ways according to that model you can handle your external stakeholders. And then avoid overpricing after expansion. Some people think that the fact that they have expanded means that their business has gotten to another level, so they want to change their pricing. Don't overprice, just use moderate prices. And after, expansion, what are some of the things you should avoid? Do not allow your self-confidence to overcome prudent and calculated decision-making. A lot of people, especially the one-man business that are transitioning into relatively big companies, the overconfidence of the entrepreneur sometimes affects good reasoning, especially if the entrepreneur has a lot of power and is not allowing the managers to use their skills to take the business to the next level. So after expansion, take yourself a little bit away from the business and allow people that you have employed the space to use best practice to take your business to the next level. So do not allow your self-confidence to overcome prudent and calculated decision making. Then do not fail to promptly cut costs to maintain positive cash flows. If there's a need for you to cut costs, find a way to cut some of those costs so that your cash flows can be positive. And do not tamper with the quality of your product or service delivery. Sometimes people feel like they have expanded, people are interested in their brands. So as a result of that, they can reduce quality and all that. No, if you do that after expansion, it's really going to damage your brand. And do not interfere with management decisions after delegating authority. It is not the best. Don't interfere with their decisions. You are paying them to work, so allow them the space to work. Come in from time to time. Possibly appoint board of directors that will even, small board of directors, depending on the size of your company, with a lot of related experience, expertise, risk management, experience to help you take your business to the next level, so that you take yourself somehow away from the business to allow the business to grow. And it is not advisable to delegate signing of check for capital expenditures. If you have expanded your business, it is very, very important that there are certain decisions that must be taken at a particular level, the board level or at senior management level. So signing checks for a capital expenditure, who and who must sign, what and what documentation should be made available, and all that. And also have systems that can help you easily generate reports for decision-making purposes, and then systems in place in terms of controls as far as prevention, detection of, detection of fraud or crime is concerned. So we need to do all that as well. And as much as possible, technological trends that are relevant to your business, you should not ignore them. I hope this helps. Thank you so much for making time to watch this episode. Continue to share our content with your friends and your loved ones. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so, and encourage others to do the same. Comment on our videos. We are very responsive. We'll come back and reply to your comments. And also press the notification button so that you can get notified anytime we post our videos. Thank you so much, and see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.